Hi, I'm Oliver, also known as Sideshow, and I am a hip-hop educator, dancer, and MC.
My name is Karen McAdden. I'm a high school teacher at Montpelier High School, and I'm a poet.
I'm Eric. I'm a hip-hop artist, educator, and filmmaker.
Hi, my name's Sonia Tomlinson. I'm also a rapper known as Santiago. I am a poet and a teacher and a big believer that poetry truly is going to change your life.
Poetry says, this is it. This is all we have, right here. What I love most about poetry is how I can take an experience that I've had or a thought that I've had, and I can put it onto the page using details and images so that maybe you, when you read it as a reader, can feel the same things I felt.
In poetry, a sharp eye is vitally important. It's like a movie. You want the camera to go in tight and show you the ridges on the scales of the alligator.
Having a sharp eye means that you tune in not only to your own experience, but to the experience of those around you, and that when you write, that you factor in relatability with your reader and your audience.
So when I write a poem, I put aside vague generalizations about life and keep a sharp eye on what's actually going on in life.
I remember I was babysitting this 5-year-old boy, and we went to the movies. And during the movie, his leg fell asleep. But he didn't know how to say, "My leg fell asleep." And out of nowhere in this crowded theater, he says, "My legs feel like ginger ale." And I love that. It's my favorite poem. And I call it a poem because it takes you by surprise, like any good poem should. And instead of using something cliche and predictable, he names something in a way that it's not been named before.
As a poet, your whole job is surprise. Not only surprise in your language and images, but also in how you deal with your subject. So here's an example of surprise in my own work. And what I was really trying to do in this example was create one very specific type of rhythm, and then basically juxtapose a very and dramatically different type of rhythm right after it, which is something that, hip-hop artists and rappers do very commonly, and that people also do in written poetry, simply on the page as opposed to vocally. And they grew like wood, skull broke like rocks off guard, like on watch, gods watch, cops, stop, like traffic broke, like a casket broke on the ground, like $1,000 ceramic then. So what I'm doing there is really creating one type of rhythm, juxtaposing another type of rhythm right next to it to really create the element of surprise.
To be a poet means to write your way down into a poem, layer by layer. So if you're writing a poem in a single draft, and you think to yourself, I've nailed it, then you're probably doing it all wrong. From what I've seen from other poets and other writers is that they go through many drafts, a lot of scratch outs, and sometimes they actually restart the process. See, writing a poem is like that. You start off one way, and then during the process, you realize that another way can actually bring different possibilities.
Or you use a word, and then decide that you need a word with a little more grit or feeling in it.
So for example, a statement like, "It didn't feel nice," is very vague. But you can replace that statement with something that's a lot more visual. So for another example, "She drove a stiletto heel through my heart."
Or you spot a cliche and replace it with something that's unique or fresh.
And don't forget about the music. Poets since the beginning of time have been singers. Every poem, old or new, is a song, a set of rhythms and tones that communicate to the brain and emotions about a feeling before we even really know what the poem is about. Here's a poem by Virginia Hamilton about a frog.
What a wonderful bird the frog are.
When he stand, he sit almost.
When he hop, he fly almost.
He ain't got no sense hardly.
He ain't got no tail hardly either.
When he sit on what he ain't got, almost.
So there you have it in one poem, all the techniques we've just been talking about. The sharp eye for detail, the element of surprise, the tones and rhythms of a song. And no doubt the scratch outs and new starts it took Virginia Hamilton to get the poem, simple as it seems, just right.